Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So today we are on the TTS. Yes, we're back on the TTS. Now that the garage is all sorted, we're going to find out today what's wrong with the car. Is it what we suspect it is? Is it a scored bore? Could there even be a hole in the cylinder? Could the head gasket have gone? Or could it be something as simple as a blown coil pack? Well, we're going to discover that today. So today's episode is a diagnostic episode. So we're going to get the car on the ramp and we're going to start looking at a couple of components, and we're going to be using a few bits and pieces. So we're going to be using this, our OBD11, to do a scan of the car, and we'll be using this little bad boy to take a look at the bores to see if the scores or the bores are scored. Now this is a it's a Best Tech. There'll be a link in my, have a look at my Amazon store, you'll see this. Good little device. And the reason why I like this is because it hooks up to your phone, so it uses your phone so you can record it. And it has two cameras, one at the very tip here and one at the side, which means we can take a look inside the bore, but we can also take a look at the side angle and give it a spin using the second camera. So it's a very good device. Lots coming up, but before we do anything, we need to wash that car because it has a whole load of new residents, namely spiders. So we need to get it clean before we get it in the garage. So let's go and do that. Okay, so first of all, we need to give this car a good wash. And bearing in mind that I bought this car, when did I buy this car? Was it March or April? One of the 2 months. And it's just been sitting here during that time. You can see why it's really pretty filthy. So we need to give it a good clean. And once we get it clean, we can then get it in the garage. So this is it while it's dirty, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's clean. Just look how spectacular this car looks once cleaned up. Oh my goodness, I am absolutely shocked. This is even without a polish. The bodywork on this car is in excellent condition. It really is. Whoever had this car really did look after it. And yeah, okay, so now that she's nice and clean, let's get her in the garage and let's get her up on the ramps. The first car to go up on the new ramps. Right, so first car on the ramp, and the ramp is perfectly placed. So we've got enough space, we've got about a meter here to work with, and that's perfect. And so yeah, and as you can see, she is just sitting off the ramp, which is good. And then of course, there's plenty of space behind her, these little muddy trails. Ugh. Right, let's get her up and see what she looks like. As I drove in, the car was coming in on limp mode. That's the reason why it was jerking to get onto the ramp, but it wasn't bad at all to get on here. It's quite easy, to be fair. Okay, let's put these chocks on here and then we'll get her up. Okay, so this lift is so cool. I mean, the height that I am working on this car is just so comfortable, and that's one of the joys of having this. I was a little bit concerned about the bonnet actually, because bonnets on the car obviously go higher than the roof, but it's not an issue because the bonnet will go up and we can just basically hold it where it needs to be. So at the moment it's not even resting on the lights, it's just literally in between, so that's really good. Right, so what we're going to do here now, so we're going to take out these coil packs. Now one of these coil packs I suspect is gone, but what we're going to do before we get into that is we're going to run OBD11 to have a look and let it do a diagnostic and tell us what the problem is. So we'll do that now. I'll show you that on the screen while we're taking a look. Okay, so we've got OBD11 all connected up, and what we're going to do now is we're just going to tap and we're going to let it go through all the faults. So this will take a little while, so in the meantime we'll have a bit of a transmission break, a bit of this. Right, so scan is finished now and the car has found 8 problems. 8 problems, you can probably not just see that on the screen now. Right, alright, so let's just take a look and see what these problems are. So number 1, engine, 4 faults. The first fault, random multiple cylinders, misfire detected. Cylinder 1 detected. Fuel level too low, yet we know about that. Cylinder 4, misfire detected. So 1 and 4, we've got a misfire. We're not going to clear those faults yet. We'll take a look at them. Sound system, we're not bothered about that. Passenger door, what's meant with a passenger door? Let's take a look at that. So, passenger door, front passenger central locking, front passenger door, central locking, lock unit for central locking. Do you know what? That's nothing. Not worried about that at all. It's more so the mechanical things. Let's go down to the bottom and see if there's anything else on there. Nope, that is it. It could be that we've just got 2 faulty what do you call it, coil packs, and replacing that may fix the problem. But I did hear some piston slaps. So let's take a look. I'm going to take off piston 1, or the coil packs on 1 and 2, and we'll take off 1 and 4. We'll take off the spark plugs and we'll take a look at that, and then we'll actually get my camera down there to have a look and see if those cylinders are the ones that are causing us some problems. Do you know what? I cannot begin to tell you how great it is to be able to work on a car at this height. It's just, oh, that lift has made such a difference. Right, okay, so 1 and 4, so we're taking this coil pack off and this coil pack off, so potentially these coil packs may be the problems. We'll take a look at the spark plugs, and then hopefully the spark plugs will reveal to us if we have any problems. So it might be the plugs, probably not. It could be the coil packs, but we're going to take a look at the balls as well, just to make sure. And if we don't see anything conclusive, we'll probably do a compression test as well, just to really throw any doubts out there. Now, I did suspect that this car had a blown head gasket, and what I might do is there's a little tube that you put into your water cooler and it will detect if there's any gases in there. Now the only reason why I suggested that was because when I had a look at the cap here, you can see that there's this like milky overdue, but a lot of cars get that on startup, and then as it warms up they disappear. So that might just be the case here. So rather than sort of getting too excited, we'll go through the other systems first to make sure. And you may, if you're one of the eagle-eyed notice individuals, you'll probably notice that there ain't no air filter. So whoever owned this car before obviously had a nice air filter and decided that he was going to keep it, or maybe even sell it on, or maybe he was going to buy another TTS and stick that on there, who knows. But you'd think if he'd done that, he would have taken all the induction pipe to go with it as well. Yeah, right. Anyway, if anyone recognizes what this is, so I don't recognize the brand of it, but if you do recognize what it is, stick it in the comments below. That would be great. At least it will help me to find what I need to replace it with. Right, coil packs. Right, very interesting. So here's our spark plugs that we've taken out. This was in this cylinder here. I'm not sure whether this is number 4 or number 1. So let's call this number 4 for now, and this is number 1. This one is quite oily. This one is very sooty. This cylinder was full of oil, so when I took it out, there was a whole lot of oil. Not so much in the coil pack, but certainly in the on here, on the spark plug socket. So I'm not sure, that oil has probably gone inside the cylinder. But what we'll do, we'll get the bore camera out and then we'll take a look. Houston, we have a problem. So I've just turned the engine over so that the cylinder 1 and 4 are down at the bottom stroke. Had a look at cylinder 4. Cylinder 4 is absolutely fine, but we've got a problem with cylinder 1. Let me show you now. I'm going to stick the camera down here. Okay, so we'll feed on down there until we see it on screen. Right. So if you look on the screen now, what you'll see the cylinder. So I'm just going to go around and around. Now this is cylinder 1, and you can see the score marks. You see those there? Those are score marks right there. And it isn't just in one place, it's also around the other side as well. All of those there are score marks. Now they're not that deep, admittedly, so you might just get away with honing the barrel, but you can definitely see the score marks. Now all the other cylinders, it would seem that they have all been honed already. So someone was taking the time to actually strip this engine back. And looking at the engine, it looks like it's been worked on, because this engine is pretty clean in terms of what I expect a 9-year-old car to be. 9-year-old, actually this car's older than 9 years old. I expect a car like this to look a little bit more rougher. So I knew that the car had been worked on, and it seems it's had a complete engine strip down and rebuild. However, there's clearly, as you can see from the images, score marks the right way around on the barrel, and that would equate to the reason why this car has got piston slap. So let's just talk about that in some detail, because we need to now decide what we're going to do with this car. Are we going to keep it and sort out this problem? And to sort this problem out means the engine needs to come out of this car. Absolutely has to, in order to get this fixed. Unless someone knows a way of honing the engine with it in situ, obviously you've got to take the head off. And it might be an opportunity to clean the head up, because the head is full of carbon. So we could do that in one go. But that's going to take time. So let's just weigh up some of our options, shall we? Right. Let's talk car. So, options. There are a number of scenarios. Option 1, take the engine out, carry on with this car, and get it repaired and film the whole process. It will take several weeks to do so, because once we get the engine out, we'll have to send it away. There'll be a bit of a lull while that happens. It'll then come back, we reassemble it, the car looks great, everyone's happy, you've had plenty of content. Option 2 is that we just get rid of the car. Now, I would consider option 2, not because I think that this car is not worth getting back on the road or the work is too much, because I can cope with the work here. It's not an issue for me. It's bread and butter in terms of skill sets. I think the issue that I have though is that I'm not passionate about this car. I bought this car so I can tick it off the list that I've now owned all the TTs, a 2 litre, a TTS, and the one that is missing is the TTRS. So it's more of a case of saying, do you know what, I've owned a TTS, yeah, great car. So my heart is not really into this car. If it was the S3, like I did with that car, I would totally be taking this engine out as we speak. But you know, having had a similar engine, in fact the S3 engine is the updated version in my one, because my 8V, my S3 is the updated, and this TTS is the old spec engine. So this is a 272 brake horsepower engine, so the passion isn't there. So I could just get rid of it and be gone with it. And the other reason why I would potentially want to get rid of it is because there's another project that I'm looking at that potentially will come up this week, and if it does come off, I will lose complete interest in this, and this will be a distraction that I'd want to get rid of. So there's the dilemma: fix it and you guys get the content, get rid of it, new project comes in, and yeah. Also, the other issue that I have with this is that if a TTRS comes up, I'm going to want to buy that, because that's a car that I really am interested in. So there's not looking good for this, but do you know what? You guys tie in and watch these videos, so you decide. So let's see in the comments. In fact, I might even put a vote up in the community comments. So tell me what you think I should do. Should I endure with this car and get it all sorted and then sell it on? Or should I sell it, cut my losses now, not my losses, but get rid of this car now in a bid for a new project? And even if this project doesn't come up, there'll be something else that will come up pretty soon. In the meantime, I've got other stuff that I need to do. I've got 2 cars out there that needs to be serviced badly, and one of them, the GTE, I really want to get servicing, but this is going to occupy this ramp for a while, so that will be off the cards. So we've got plenty of stuff, plenty of car content for you, but it's a case of what we do. So as usual, you guys let me know in your comments, and in the meantime, if you're a casual viewer, don't forget to subscribe down here, click on the bell notification so you're notified whenever we release a new video. And don't forget to share and like this. Let's get this video up to 1,000 likes, because likes are what YouTube seems to like. Good. Okay, well, I'm going to put this car back together now. And then I'll wait and see what you guys decide. So in the meantime, have a good one, and we will see you on the next one.